No animals were harmed in the filming of this video. So this faux mantle was actually a housewarming gift from my sister and her husband. And what's cool about the Douglas fir that I used to build this mantle is it all comes from a part of British Columbia that we as a family have traveled to since before I was even born. And I love the idea of having a feature piece like a mantle hanging in your house that has that kind of a story and can bring you back to or remind you of a place from your childhood or from your past. Now, all you've seen me do so far in this video is rough out the materials. I planed down one side as well as jointed the two edges and left the rough sawn side, which will be the face of the faux mantle. Think about a box with 5 sides, or even without a lid. That's really what I'm trying to achieve with this faux mantle. I did cut all of my pieces to 45 degrees. That way I would hide as many of the seams as possible and make this mantle look like one solid chunk of Douglas fir as opposed to 5 individual boards. For the 45-degree cuts required on the ends, I did use my track saw because it was a lot safer than trying to use my table saw in the same way to cut the miters. If you're looking for a simple weekend project, this might be the one. I probably spent only about 6 hours building this mantle, and some of that had to do with just fitting it properly in place and the time it took to drive back and forth to my sister's house. For assembly, I just used glue as well as pin nails just to secure everything in place. Just a safety tip, always keep your fingers clear when you're shooting in a nail, because you never know if it'll pop out the bottom. I did clamp everything up in sections just to bend the Douglas fir into submission. With the glue dry on the first section, we were able to come back and add our final piece. If this is your first time visiting my channel, which there's a good chance it is, I really want to say thanks for checking out my video. I'm trying to grow something here, and I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button or hit that like. It lets YouTube know that this is a video worth watching. And then in turn, the YouTube gods will suggest this video to other people. Thanks, guys. I did add additional supports on the inside, which will go on either side of the existing mantle on the wall. And I did this just to help with any kind of movement in the wood, because I would assume, based on the material, that there will be some movement over time. Now, if you've never heard of shou-sugi-ban or shou-sugi-ban, if you've never heard of anyone burning wood to get a finish like this, I would be surprised, and you should probably go check out, I'll link it above, Jonny Builds' video where he goes into this in more detail. This is an amazing way to preserve wood, but as well get a real rustic finish. And I did the same thing on the pieces I would require to make plugs to fill the screw holes for mounting. So if you want to check out what's going on behind the scenes, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I have tons of respect for guys who do installs for a living. I had to route out a section of the bottom of the mantle to be able to get it to fit in place properly. And my wall was probably out ½ an inch from one end to the other. So it still needs some maneuvering, but it was a fairly easy install other than that. I don't know what I love more about this mantle. The fact that I could bless my sister and her husband with this gift that does have a story behind it, or the fact that it just came together in such an amazing way. If you made it this far, I just wanted to say thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next video.